Welcome back, everybody. So I don't know if I was able to show just how long this drive belt is on a Can-Am Spyder. So I have it sitting on top of my snow shovel, and as we pan down, and we're gonna pan down kind of slow, that way we don't make anybody too sick. It goes almost all the way to the ground. And if we take slack out of this belt, it will touch the ground. That's how long these belts are. So when you're riding at 70 miles per hour, 50 miles per hour, this belt is going to banjo. It's going to move like this. So simply just putting tension, that pulley right here, it's going to stop that. Welcome back, everybody. Today we are working on some of the Spyder upgrades. So I'll show you what I've done so far. Is I pulled the side cover off. Super easy. I've pulled the lower cover off, and I pulled the cover off that covers the drive belt. I pulled the front seat and the back seat. So this is everything that we have. We have the front seat, we have the little lower cover, the upper cover, the back seat, and the side cover. And what we're doing today, let me grab this here really quick, is we're putting the belt tensioner on. And why we're putting the belt tensioner on is, I don't even know how I'm going to show this thing. This is the drive belt of a Can-Am Spyder. So let me set it down. So I have it at the front wheel, and this thing goes back almost to the rear peg. This belt is extremely long. So BRP made a nice little tensioner. That will ride on the belt. And it bolts on. I don't know if I can show you guys. There we go. There's two bolts. One here and one here that you remove. And the tensioner simply slides over and you bolt it up. So what I've noticed working on this Spyder than any other Spyder is it reminds me of the mid-80s cars. And why I say that is sometimes it's a standard bolt and sometimes it's a metric bolt. So to remove the front seat, you have a bolt here and a bolt here. And if I can remember, they're a 10 millimeter. Well, then once we get down to the two bolts where I removed here, they were a 1/2 inch. So, I don't know why they did that. And I also noticed on the rear brakes, same thing, that they go with a standard bolt. But besides that, I have 10 minutes in this thing so far. So I don't have anybody here to hold the camera. So I'm going to set it down, and there's not a lot of tension. There is not a lot of tension on this pulley. you know, just with my thumb, I can rock it back and forth. So all you do is you set it in place, and you put a little pressure down, and you bolt it up. So I'm gonna pause this really quick. Okay, so it's gonna be hard to show, but here is the tensioner, and this is the pulley right here, or the I guess we can call it the idler pulley, that puts pressure on the belt. And what you want to do is the gap between the aluminum housing that your pegs ride on and this tensioner, this gap right here needs to be about 1/8 of an inch. So what that does then is it lets this whole pulley make contact with the belt. So that's the only adjustment you have to do. And then you come back over and tighten up your 2 bolts. And the job's done. It's really easy. If I have a half hour in this using hand tools, I don't think I have any more than a half hour into this project just using hand tools. So if you can take the side covers off, and you know, you got the gas tank, big aluminum support piece, and then the 2 bolts are just right down right there. And you simply just loosen them, you remove them, you pull it out, you slide your new tensioner in. It's easy to put the pressure down on this tensioner to where you can start your bolts. I started the rear one first, and I tightened it to, I can get my fingernail underneath it. And what that did, it made it easier then to put this one in. Don't tighten this one up all the way, because then you will not be able to get this one in. Leave this one loose so you can move it around and adjust everything. And right now I need to go back in and make sure everything's tight, because I do have the alignment right here that needs to be 1/8 of an inch gap. So that's it. I mean, it is a really easy modification. The part was super cheap. I think it was under $50. Let's see if the camera will focus. And I'm telling you, this belt, if I put it on the ground and bring it up, it comes up to my chest. It is extremely long. And when you're riding, what happens is this thing starts to vibrate back and forth, and the little tensioner will keep it from doing that, which should take out a lot of vibrations that people have complained about. So, super easy modification. Just doing it in my backyard with simple hand tools. Just remember that you will need a metric and a standard socket set. A T30, a T25, and a 6mm hex. And that's it. So on that, I'm gonna let everybody go. I'm gonna thank everybody for watching and subscribing. The next thing I'm gonna be doing on this thing is the rear shock. So, but that's it for today. Thank you for watching, everybody. Stay safe. I'll see everyone in a few days.